So welcome to a very windy Critchall site. I'm just down having a look at the trials that have been marked out and can now see some of the background levels of disease that we're going to be fighting up against in this crop of Graham down here for this year. I've taken some plant samples as opposed to taking you out into the field. It's just simply too windy to capture good audio otherwise, but we'll have a look at one of the plants and a couple of the examples to see what type of levels of disease we're dealing with this season. So we can see here crop of Graham. It's come out of some chalky stone ground. We've got new roots already developing quite nicely, active growth, having had 200 kilos of ammonium sulfate applied. You can see from the bottom leaves that we've got as examples the levels of disease that sit within the canopy during some of the senescing leaves through septoria and just old age, but they've passed on up the plant here quite successfully, and we've got happy septoria clambering up the canopy with temperatures at the moment sitting fairly low still. We've got a latent period between 20 to 35 days probably at this part of the season at the higher end, so it's highly likely that the higher leaves have now got infection, which we'll have to track throughout the season's trials to see what the success rate of some of the different programs and products will be this year. So we're here at the Vine Farm site near Bassingbourn. Crop of evolution, not quite as far forward as the crop at Critchall, but this trial will receive the same protocol as the site at Critchall, so we'll be able to track the variations throughout the season. So there'll be a visit once a month to these crops and a report on video just looking at the development of the crops and the different disease levels across the country. You can see here the level of disease is lower in this evolution, but a little bit of spot of rust and some early septoria, but not quite at the same level as the Graham site down in the southwest, and not quite the degree of septoria pressure in the crop either. Some just on the base level, but nowhere near as much. Rooting looks good, so the crop's got some potential. It's drilled in October, so slightly later than Critchall development, so we'll track this progress throughout the season and report back in the next video.
So Matt's just shown you two of our sites that we're hosting our base fungicide protocol this season. We're here at Cawood, which is our third site for the fungicide trial, and we're hosting it here in a crop of Gravity, which was drilled in September. So we're just going to have a quick look at the base disease levels that we're starting off with before our T0 fungicide applications. So you can see here, because we're a bit further up north, the crop isn't as advanced as the crops in the southern sites. So we're still kind of tillering with leaf 4 just coming through now, which obviously is the target for your T0 application. In terms of base levels of septoria, we have had quite a lot of rain on this site. So on the lower leaves, you've got some rather large septoria lesions with very obvious black pycnidia. There's not a huge amount of disease yet on the younger leaves, but I suspect there's quite a lot of latent disease, so if we get a bit of wet weather going into April, we'll probably get quite a lot of Septoria, which will be very good for the trials, and hopefully we'll see some good differences between the treatments. Myself, Matt and other members of the technical team are going to be keeping really close tabs on these trials and bring you updates throughout the season.